Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon. To most people, creativity is a mystery, something only a few people are born with, but certainly not them. When artists are asked where they get their ideas from, some say they dream of them, others say they simply come to them in the shower. Maybe, but the reality is that ideas don't just come to people from nowhere, not even to so-called artists and geniuses. The truth is that nothing is original. Everything has been done before, and artists are aware of this, which is why they borrow different ideas and play with them. Artists steal. The good ones have a good sense of what is worth stealing and what should be left alone. The Beatles are considered to be one of the greatest rock bands of all times. Did they steal? Absolutely. They were a cover band and later made their own music by stealing from their heroes, Buddy Holly, Elvis Presley, and Little Richard, to name a few. They developed their style by copying them, and that's exactly what an artist is supposed to do. Copy from your idols, whoever they may be. The more influences, the better. Copying from one person makes it obvious that you're stealing from that one other person, but stealing from 20 or 30 people and putting all their ideas together makes you original. More influences help us come up with our own style. An original song or creative painting seems unique because you haven't yet seen or heard the sources that inspired the composer or the painter to come up with it. Try to remember the last research paper you wrote. Chances are you felt really proud of it. For a moment you felt so original, but you know you weren't. You simply used the information of different books and websites to come up with it and came up with something rather unique. That's what the paper is, the work of many different people with your name on it. Originality is undetected plagiarism. Think of yourself as an example. You're alive because of your mother and father, and they're alive because of theirs, and so on. You have genes from every ancestor that came before you. Think of the genes as the different sources, and yourself as a research paper, but in the end, you're something entirely unique. No one has ever been or will ever be just like you. Chances are you don't want to be like your parents. There's nothing you can do about your genetics, but you can certainly differentiate yourself from them by spending less time with them and instead spending time around people who you actually want to be like. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. This idea applies to everything, so pick your teachers and influences carefully. The more good ideas you collect, the more you can choose from to be influenced by. Don't wait until you know who you are to get started. You discover your purpose by taking action, not by doing nothing. Be proactive. Start something you think you will like. Even if you decide to move on to something else in the future, you're still moving forward. If you passively wait to figure out what you want to do, you will never start anything. You're ready. Start making stuff, even if you feel that you don't know what you're doing. The key is to show up to work on your project every day. Don't feel bad if you can't come up with something entirely original. Let your heroes inspire you. Take their work and try to transform it. Add something to it. Add enough to make it your own. Look at it and ask yourself, what's missing? What could make this better? What seems off? This is where you come in and start working, and it's how you flatter your heroes and offer value to the world. When I was 14, I was a big fan of Led Zeppelin. I bought every single one of their albums even if I could get their music online for free. I listened to their music all the time and learned to play many of their songs on guitar. I was later told that they had plagiarized a lot of their songs. One of my favorite songs was Baby I'm Gonna Leave You. Apparently, they stole the lyrics from a song that goes by the same name by a woman named Joan Baez, and they had to give credit to her years after releasing the song. The arpeggio of their most famous song, Stairway to Heaven, was apparently inspired by the arpeggio of a song called Taurus by the band Spirit. Although they are different, they are similar. Some people claim that other of their songs like Dazed and Confused and In My Time of Dying were also rip-offs. When I found out about this, I felt devastated. I didn't want to believe that my heroes were ripping other artists off. I wanted to believe that they were super original and that's why they became so successful. After some time, I realized that whether or not they stole from these other artists or not didn't really matter to me. I still believe they are one of the greatest rock bands of all times. It was naive of me to believe that they were 100% original. They didn't have to be. The songs that they apparently stole from aren't that good either way, in my opinion. Led Zeppelin's songs are way better. This is what Steal Like an Artist is suggesting. Find some art and ask yourself how you can make it better. Stop pressuring yourself to come up with entirely new things that no one has ever done before. So you want to start something but don't know how? Do this. Get a job or keep the one you have. To get things done, we need a routine, and that's what a job provides us with. It's in the breaks that we will work on our projects. Don't assume that the more free time you have, the harder you will work, and the more you'll get done. The opposite is true. The more free time, the more we procrastinate. Get a calendar. Draw an X on the calendar every day you work on your project. An X on the calendar every day will make a chain, and your goal is not to break it. Work on something a little bit every day, and with time, you will end up with something that is massive. Choose what to leave out. Art is not just what you do, it's also what you decide to leave out. You will come up with a lot of decent ideas that shouldn't make it into your work. Don't try to force everything into it. Only your best ideas can make it in. Telling yourself you have all the time in the world, all the money in the world, all the colors in the palette, anything you want, that just kills creativity. The life of a project looks something like this. It starts with you thinking you just came up with the best idea ever. After some time, you realize it won't be easy to do. You will then lose motivation and you will want to give up. Hopefully you will push through and keep working and realize that it is worth the effort. When you finish, you won't like it as much as you thought you would, but you will feel satisfied. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please leave a like and subscribe for more.